Keep talking about this insurrection, the violence on January 6th. The only violence that took place on January 6th in the Capitol was a cop shooting an unarmed woman. How afraid were you, sir? You are one of the bad ones. That officer should be on death row right now. He should be ordering his last meal. That man came out of that room and shot the woman point blank in the head for no reason whatsoever. The people that came into the White House or into the building, they looked like a bunch of kids on a class field trip. They had their fanny packs and their cameras out. Like, what violence? Where's the violence? And it was all proven to be one Antifa member who was blending in, acting like Trump supporter, telling everyone to go into the building. He was the one hyping everything up, pushing everyone into the building. Why isn't that man? You know how, like, it's if you're in a crowded theater and you yell fire, why isn't that man being charged? Why? Because he's a Democrat? Because he supports Joe Biden and his cronies? None of these people, not like, we need Trump back in office. All you pathetic excuses for Americans who voted for Joe Biden, and all you fake people that, voted for Joe Biden. This is nuts. You got 13 people dead now because Joe Biden couldn't figure out that, you should bring the civilians, get the civilians out before you pull the armed forces out of Afghanistan. That I know my daughter's 12 years old and she knows better than that. The kid across the street or across the hall is probably, I think, 3 years old. He knows better than to pull the troops out before you pull the civilians out. Is there any way to get Trump back? We need Trump back. We should have two sets of government. We should have the Republicans and the Democrats. Since they can't get along and get together and get along, we should have two presidents, two senates. That's what we should do. Like, this is ridiculous. The only violence that took place last year, it wasn't on January 6th. It was all of 2020. While the libtard news and the libtard media decided to push their garbage and push how Trump's racist and everything, they're the ones, they are responsible for the cities getting burned, these stores getting looted and then burnt to the ground because, they're pushing their agendas. Because Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot. Come on, man. There's more white people shot by cops every year, unarmed white people shot by cops every year than blacks. We don't want to go through the statistics because nobody ever wants to hear them. But the reason that it happens like that is because more of the violent crimes are committed by African Americans, by blacks. I'm sorry. I've had black girlfriends and none of them want to be called African American. They're Americans. I don't want to be called a German American. I'm an American. All you morons out there that are following this like it's truth and bound down to the vax. I'm sorry, but when is the Constitution gonna stand up for itself? We all have rights in this country. We have a right to be free. We have a right to go shopping without being molested. We have a right to walk down the street without being molested by cops. We have a right to, if you're a part of a crowd walking through the Capitol building, you have a right not to get shot in the head by a police officer when you're unarmed. That officer should be tried and he should be put to death. He killed that one. That was murder. There's nothing else, no other way to explain it. That was murder. He murdered that woman. No doubt about it. He murdered her. It's a joke, man. This government shit's a joke. It's just hilarious. Like, if it wasn't so damning, if it wasn't so far against everything that we've been taught since we were kids, like this is a joke, man. These liberals are just pushing and pushing and pushing. They want a civil war. They do. They want it. They're pushing this whole racist bullshit and this critical race theory bullshit. My great-grandfather came here from Germany. He didn't have slaves. He never had slaves. My family never had slaves. We worked our own fields. We worked our own lots. We busted our ass and did our own work. Like a lot of the United States did back in those days too. All these people crying, did they not realize that not everybody was rich? Not everybody had slaves back in. It was the rich that had slaves. The people that could afford to own property back then. Does everyone own a house right now? Does everyone own a house? No. How do you think they would have back then? People need to use this thing. This is pathetic. All yins, Antifa and Black Lives Matter, yins are pathetic. Joe Biden, you're a joke. You're not a president. You're a joke. Step aside. And Kamala Harris, you need to step aside too. Nancy Pelosi, step aside. Yins all need to step aside, bring Trump back. Because there's nobody in this world could do anything. To fix all this crap. Except for Trump. The Taliban and all that, they feared Trump because he had a backbone. Because he'd do something. North Korea feared Trump. Russia feared Trump. Because they knew without a doubt that man would have pushed that button if they even attempted to push theirs. Joe Biden would have a committee meeting and find out if he should push it while their missiles are flying across the ocean. He would pull his little TikTok guy, his little LGBTQ guy. He would pull him in and say, "Hey, what should I do?" Because he doesn't know what to do. Man doesn't even know who he is half the time. There ain't no way the man won by 85%. None. There's no way that the man won. It said Trump was racist. No, Biden was the racist. All along, he's the racist. Because he's going to put you back in chains, y'all. If you don't vote for him, you're not black. How about, I don't want my kids going to school with them. It's a jungle. That's the stuff he used to say. Come on. And it's funny because everybody was cool with Trump before he ran for president. All the boxers, all the rappers, everyone was cool with Trump. How many rap songs have Donald Trump in the song? How many rap stars talked about being in the Trump Towers? But what? As soon as he became president, now he's racist and he's all this. The man did good. He did a good job for this country. This fake scamdemic garbage. 0.05% death rate. People need to open their eyes, man. The flu kills more people every year. And pneumonia. Do we close down this whole country for that? Do we make flu shots mandatory? No. All you morons out there who keep calling this an insurrection on January 6th, the violence of January 6th. These are also the morons that turn your head every day whenever Antifa and BLM were burning down another city or burning down another store after they robbed it blind. That wasn't looting, that was robbery. And every single one of them should be tried. But no, you have no backbone. The Democrats are pushing for this socialist garbage. This isn't Cuba. This is the United States of America. Nancy Pelosi, go to AA.